So today, rather than focusing on the First Minister for Independence in the Scottish Parliament, in the new cabinet of Humza Yousaf, the First Minister, the Scottish Parliament was distracted by five protests which stopped the First Minister's questions completely, five times, by climate change activists. And in the end, the public gallery was cleared, and I think a small group of school children was allowed back. This isn't the way our democracy should be run, either in Scotland or in Westminster. People who travel to the Parliament to see their elected representative should have an opportunity of fulfilling that wish, rather than having it hijacked by people who want to repeatedly make a political point by protesting. There must be other ways to protest so that ordinary people are not so inconvenienced. And I think in the days when we've got social media, when we have other avenues to protest and to get our points across, we can be more constructive than jeering at our elected politicians, whether we approve of them or not. I think there's a lot more to be said for well-placed satire, for well-placed analysis, for considered thought and comment, rather than flag-waving, sloganizing, and abuse. And of course, I'd say exactly the same thing to the people in the chamber themselves. And there's far too much flag-waving, sloganizing, and abuse, and not enough proper debate. But I would like to have heard far more about how a higher education minister becomes the First Minister for Independence, how this new role was created, why it was created, and how it's going to be funded, how that ministry is going to function, particularly when Westminster has ruled out a new referendum in Scotland for independence at this particular moment. I find this interesting. I would like this to be quizzed. I would very much like to ask Mr. Yousaf himself what justification there is for spending so much money on setting up a new ministry for something which Westminster has said very firmly cannot be achieved. If he wishes to defy Westminster, that's another matter entirely. And what is his plan if that is the case? I think that's very interesting. I think we in the South should be making overtures to reunite our kingdom rather than see it divide. And I think we should be making a bigger effort to bring Humza and his cabinet into the fold of a united kingdom as our new king faces coronation in the next month. I think that's our priority. And I think at the moment, it's a great, great shame that for First Minister's questions, Rishi Sunak didn't bother to make the trip up to Edinburgh to sit himself in the gallery as a guest of the First Minister, and then follow that by having serious and focused debate. It should happen immediately. He shouldn't have to wait for an invitation.